Hello, YouTubers. How are you today? Well, I hope you have a good day today. Um, I'm shirtless, as you probably noticed. It's getting quite warm. I'm in tropical tierra or land, and so I'm doing what the natives do. We go around shirtless, and it is what it is. Today I wanted to go over. I had a thought come up on my mind yesterday, and it was kind of questionable in regards to etiquette. With Christians and the Catholic religion, there's a certain etiquette, and I am not the most etiquette person in the world, as you probably have noticed, being shirtless and all. But that doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop me. I have questions. I'm a curious person, so I ask questions because I want to know. I'm not doing it to upset anybody. It's just my pure curiosity that develops these particular questions. So today I have a question, and I searched and searched, and I couldn't find the answer. Maybe because it's such a bizarre question. But the question today is this: what did God make Adam non-sexual? Now we know he made a man. Adam was a man, right? But he was a man by default because there was nothing else out there. And so my question is, was Adam made as a real man? And what I mean by that, was he able to have sex? Did he have the organs to actually be a person that can procreate and make children? And so that's the question of today. Was Adam made a man that can have sex at the same time that he was born? Which is other questions also, like, how old was Adam when he was created? Was he a child? Was he an infant? Was he a grown man? A lot of questions, right? But today we're going to just ask one question. Did God make Adam so that he can have children? When he created him originally, could he have children? Let's check into it. Okay, well, let's read. I got Genesis 2 over here, and it's going to be Genesis chapter 2, verses 18, and I'm going to skip to 20. And it says here, "And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make a help meet for him." Okay. Later on in verse 20, it says, "And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him." So God, in the writings of Moses, God had mentioned twice that he needed to get a helpmeet suitable for Adam, a helpmeet, another creature, another being. He didn't want to make another Adam number 2. He wanted to make a helpmeet suitable for Adam. He didn't want to make the same. He wanted to make the suitability. Suitability was very important to God. He didn't want a duplicate. He wanted suitable, which means one goes with the other, right? Like one hand washing the other. It's suitable. A symbiotic relationship. So that's what my question is. Okay, so if God, because Adam was running around doing his thing, taking care of Eden, and he was naming the creatures that God made, so he was busy. But God noticed that Adam needed a suitable helper, and he mentioned it twice in the Bible, as I just spoke about. So this comes, and then he made Eve. Okay, all right. Then later on it says in the next verse, it says, "And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man." Okay. So he took out a rib of Adam and he made a woman out of that. Okay, great. My question is this: did God tinker around anymore with Adam? Because I think when God made Adam, he did not anticipate on making Eve. So if he didn't anticipate on making Eve, he had to think about it. And like I said, he mentioned it twice in the Bible. Like, I got to make a suitable helper for this guy. He needs that. He needs a helper. So he's working out, supposedly, right? I mean, because if it was working out perfectly fine, he wouldn't have changed his plans. He wouldn't have said, I gotta make a helper. I gotta make a suitable helper. Once I finish something, it's set 100%. I don't go back 2 months later and say, you know what, I'm gonna change it around now. And if it's 100%, it's 100%. You don't change 100%. In this case, when God made Adam, it wasn't 100%. So he had to make Eve. So he made Eve. But what? Did God? Now, if God was only intending to make Adam and no Eves, why would he make Adam with the ability to create other human beings? Why would he? And second of all, he couldn't, because there was no Eve, there was no female, no woman to be able to hook it up. So God said, that's why it took God a couple times to think it over. That's why it was mentioned twice in the Bible, because he had to figure out a whole other plan, as far as I could tell. So that's why he had to think about it. That's why women are so special. Women are very special, because women broke the mold. Because it says in Genesis that God made Adam from dirt or dust from the earth. And he did the same thing with all the other animals. And it was only the woman where he made, which he made through a rib, which is totally different than dust, right? Or earth. So my feeling, this is my interpretation of the Bible, I don't think God made Adam originally 100%. Why? Because why would he have to dig into his rib to pull it out, to make a woman? He wouldn't have done it. It would have been, he would have had the plan B or the same plan working. He said, okay, yeah, I know, I got the woman back in storage over here. I'll just bring her out and just hook him up. No, he had to put him to sleep and do his thing. So I don't think God made Adam 100% when he first created Adam, which is really remarkable because we're saying God is all knowing. God is all knowing. God is all knowing. He's all powerful. And in this case, there was a correction. There was an adjustment, and so then you can think about it. You go, okay. If that's the case, if God had to make an adjustment to Adam so he can have a suitable helper for Adam, then that's why we're around. We're around. We're us human beings. We're around, and God is kind of observing us, and He's, I don't think everything is etched in stone. And second of all, God gave us a domain over this earth. So I'm going off a tangent, but it just kind of explains that God is kind of winging it in a way. He's kind of winging it. It's not all etched in stone. And I think this particular passage in Genesis 2 really reflects that God he's kind of going with it. He's going with the flow. It's not etched in stone. And, he's you're able to work with God. He's not so black and white as I thought he was really, But I think there's a lot of somewhat gray with God. And with certain things, right? So I just think that's really important to kind of go over, to understand that, man, when God created Adam, he didn't get it 100%. Like, he made a little bit of an error, I guess. And so it's like, oh wow, that's incredible. The Almighty actually had to make an adjustment. Now that's my feeling. I'm feeling that God didn't make Adam with the sexual organs that he needed to. So I think when he opened them up, yeah, he took out his rib, but I think he also gave him a couple other things like a prostate and testes and whatnot to be able to work this suitable helper with him. So they can, because it says later on in Genesis, when it's, because now that God introduced Eve to Adam, he said, and Adam said, now this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be woman. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of a man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. That's important stuff. I mean, that's important stuff. And so when God tinkered around a little bit, his idea, and Adam got it, it's like, now we're one flesh. You leave your parents and you get your woman, or your woman, you get your man, and you start from square one again as one being. We were born we're born by ourselves, and if you get married, you kind of become one again with that flesh, and then you make other ones, and it's a beautiful cycle that God has made for us, and we can appreciate that, and don't. I get off another topic with the LGBT situation, which I'm totally against. I love everybody. I don't hate on anybody. I just think they're going the wrong way. That their chosen path is incorrect. They're a little confused. But hey, they're human beings. God created them, and they deserve all the love that they need to get. That's 100%. But I just feel they're misguided. And God did not make a mistake. When God creates us, I don't think he makes a mistake. He made a mistake, a little bit of a mistake with Adam, but he rectified it. And that was just because I think he just noticed that Adam needed a companion. And so he adjusted it for us, really, not for him. So anyway, I hope you appreciate the video. Please subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. And as always, God bless.